Hey guys, Glenn here, and we are back with subscription boxes. Today, we're going over the PowerUp box. And we are still getting the premium and the deluxe editions. So we got the big and the small. We're going to go over each one of them today because there's one or two very distinct differences between the boxes this time, which isn't always the case. So it would be something to keep in mind if you're going to subscribe for the future. We've got the $20 deluxe edition and the $30 premium edition. So, as you can see, PowerUp box came all smashy again. These boxes come in the worst shape. Now this one's fine, but you know what? It's the same thickness, but smaller. It's not going to get definitely not going to get as crushed. But this one is just amazingly tore up. If there had been a pop figure in here, you can forget about that box. As it was, none of the items got destroyed, but you'll see when we get to the items that most of the items were smaller anyway, and soft, and that kind of thing. So, they need to improve their boxes somehow. Either get thicker boxes like loot crates, or do a box within a box like Comic-Con box. But regardless, let's check out what is in the premium PowerUp box for this month. Okay, now as you know, PowerUp box doesn't really go with a theme. They're one of the few boxes that don't really have a solid theme, although sometimes they will put similar items together in the same box from the same fandom. And they do that this time. This kind of leads me to the conclusion that PowerUp box stocks their boxes based on what they get at the time. So, they get a price point, they get a certain amount of items wholesale, and they use those to fill their boxes without having to deal with any rhyme or reason as far as the theme goes. It's a lot easier way to put out a box, but to me, it's a lot less interesting, I guess. We're basically getting month after month of mashups. You know what I mean? It's a surprise as far as what kind of items you're going to get, which is good on one hand, but it can also lead to some not so great boxes, and we've seen that from some of them like My Geeky Goodies or when Cosmo Cube did their whatever box. When you do a mix of items with no real theme, it can be kind of dangerous because you're ending up putting in whatever, and they doesn't have a good cohesion. So anyway, we're going to start with the shirt. We've got a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 shirt. All in all, this is not a bad shirt. It's great quality. It's got it's basically a store-bought equivalent shirt. And nothing wrong with the design. It's just, to me, not very interesting. Now, it doesn't help that I'm not much for first-person shooters. I know I have that Call of Duty hat, but it's just not what I enjoy as far as gaming goes, and mostly because I'm not very good at it. But even if I was, what is this? Basically the cover of the game box. It's really not all that interesting. Not every shirt has to be a mashup, but at least it can be something that they put a little bit of thought in instead of just kind of buying off the rack. So we get enough shirts in these boxes that they need to kind of up their game a little bit to make sure that we're getting some that are interesting. This not so great. It's not bad, but it's not something that I would go seek out. Okay, and one more Call of Duty item. And we're back to it, guys. Dog tags. We went, was it last month or the month before, where it was Dog Tag City with most of the boxes. And it got real old real fast. Well, this doesn't improve it that much in the fact that these are plastic dog tags. They're not even really metal. And they're not even that heavy of a plastic. So, they're branded, they're Call of Duty, which in and of itself is not bad, but just kind of something, it's kind of cheap, I guess. This is a cheap item, and again, not very interesting, and not that coolness factor isn't there. All right, now here's a cool item, and these are socks. I'm really digging socks lately. I got a couple of socks from Loot Crate, uh, socks from other boxes, particularly Hero Crate. Well, we've got some Superman socks, um, and these are just like, they call them crew socks from BioWorld, but they're just like the other socks you tend to get that are branded like that. They're almost like stockings. Check it out. You stretch them enough, which means when you put them on your feet, it distorts the design, makes them a lot lighter. Honestly, they look best when they're not on your feet. Once you put them on your feet, they kind of get a different look and look a little bit washed out. But I dig the superhero socks anyway, so I don't have any problem with these. And they're ones I haven't seen before, so not too bad. All right, we've got a Super Mario Brothers wallet. Now, usually when we get a wallet in these boxes, it's that papery type wallet. Usually half the time that you fold and put together yourself. This is an actual canvas wallet, and it's got all the mushrooms on it right there. And it's a real wallet. It's got pockets for cards, and it's got a standard window for your license and such, and your ID. So it's not a cheap wallet. It's another one by BioWorld, which a lot of these little wearables and accessories come from. But it's not cheap. It's actually a good quality wallet. We've gotten a lot of those papery wallets, which aren't bad either. But it's nice getting an actual canvas wallet. That would be actually decent to use. So nice job there with that. Okay, we got candy. I commented the other day that these boxes are kind of getting away from candy, and that's a good thing because they end up being throw-ins. Well, here's the throw-in. It's a lollipop with the lips on the front, so when you got it in your mouth, it looks like you have a funny face. Decent for kids. Green apple and strawberry. Just a standard piece of candy that you'd get in a candy shop. Nothing special there. That's your throw-in item. And lastly, we've got a Lego Man head. Now, at first, I thought this was a magnet. But it looked a little shiny, so I put it on my computer, I put it on my refrigerator. It is not a magnet, it's a coaster. And it actually says it right there that it's a coaster, but you have to look closely. So we've got a Lego Man head coaster. I don't have a whole lot of use for coasters. I'd much rather have the magnet because magnets are much more displayable than a coaster. So I would have preferred this be a magnet. And you know what? I could actually probably make this into a magnet pretty easily. But a little disappointing that it was just a coaster because the design is kind of cool. I like that it's bright yellow. And it's very big, so it would have made a great magnet. As it is, it's okay, not terrible. All right, that's it for the premium box. As far as the deluxe box goes, there's a couple of differences. They both had the same T-shirt, and they both had the dog tags, and they both had the lollipop. The difference that the small box had was it has a bag. This is a Hanna-Barbera bag, kind of just a tote bag. Be good for a quick grocery trip or whatever. But it's got Muttley on the front. This is actually a pretty neat bag. I like this. I don't have or use a lot of tote bags, but this is actually a cool design. I like it. Muttley's one of my favorite characters from Hanna-Barbera universe. So if I was going to get a bag, this is actually a pretty cool one. So what would have been nice is to combine the two boxes, and if I'd gotten the bag, I definitely could have lost the Lego head guy and the dog tags for sure, and it would have been a much bigger box. As it is, pretty much the smaller box just had the 4 items in it: the shirt, the bag, the dog tags, and the sucker. And then the premium box, the bigger one, had the shirt, the dog tags, the sucker, no bag, and they had the socks and the wallet. So that's the difference, and the Lego Man head. So that's the difference between the two boxes. I think in this case, I actually like the $20 Deluxe box a little bit better, because I think the $30 box, as far as the value goes, wasn't entirely there. You know, I would rather gotten bam those 4 items, pay $20 for them, than those 6 items, and you know, that extra $10 really didn't bump it up very much as far as value goes. The socks, I guess, but so overall, I'm giving this box, and I'm going to grade it as a whole. I'm going to give this box a B-, just because it didn't thrill me that much. None of the items were really terrible. I could do without the candy, and the dog tags were, to me, were kind of crappy because they were cheap plastic. So those are the 2 items that I really negative on. So a B- overall, I think, is a pretty good grade, because they came through with the bag. The shirt's not bad, it's just not for me. And the socks are pretty good too. So that's it for PowerUp Box. I wanted to keep this video tight and small. Not going to do a bunch of shout outs or anything today, but as always, make sure that you're hitting us up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and check out our Patreon page. That's going to be linked down below as well. Next video, we will have another Hall of Famer to announce, and I'll have some announcements about the website, which is going live very soon. Actually, it's live already. You can already kind of look at it, but it's just not populated that much. And I'm working on the themes and things like that. So until next time, we will talk to you later. Bye-bye.